Good morning. Hope you all slept well. Beautiful, beautiful morning here in Lancaster. For this flow, for this class, if you have some kind of brick or thick book, that might come in handy. If you have some kind of meditation cushion, or it doesn't have to be a meditation cushion, maybe quite a thick cushion, that could also come in handy. Neither of these things are essential. And we're going to start sitting in an easy seat, cross-legged if that's comfortable for you. I'm sitting on a little bit of a block, just on the edge of it, just to give me a little bit of a lift, a little bit of a help in the pelvis. So if you'd like to make yourselves comfortable. And if you're happy to, closing your eyes. And as you come to close your eyes, feeling the beginnings of a release down through the hips, down through the base of the body. Maybe feeling into your feet. And your buttocks. And all the way down the length of each leg. And we're looking for a real softness of focus today. So see maybe if you can even feel a sense of the whole of your skin boundary softening. All the tissues of your face softening. Your side waist softening. And even softening your brain as a muscle. So you just feel it resting soft inside your cranium. Eyes soft. Roof of the mouth soft. Palms of your hands and soles of your feet soft. And notice maybe as you come into softness, you also come into a more of a receptive state. As if the pores of your skin are opening to the morning. And notice the stream of a natural breath. Not trying to control the breath, direct it in any way, just simply noticing how each breath moves into your body and then out again, over and over again. You may notice as you sit breathing here that your shoulders begin to soften. Maybe you feel your shoulder blades just sliding down the spine ever so slightly. Maybe a lengthening in the back of the neck. It's going to be a spacious flow today. With this focus upon a soft, mindful alertness all the way through. To take a moment to feel into the space around you. Feel the air on your skin. And if you would like to take a few more moments in this settling time to set yourself an intention for your practice, what do you really need right now? What do you need for yourself, and what do you want to take into the world from this practice? And keeping your eyes closed if you're comfortable like this, and releasing your fingertips down to the floor. And just aware of the softness in your shoulders as you breathe in and you feel your arms floating out by your sides, all the way up over your head. Soft and open in the heart space. And as you breathe out, you allow your arms to float back down again. And I'll leave you to take a few rounds. It's so lovely with the eyes closed because you just really drop into every detail. Allow the breath to move your arms. Continuing to soften and open all around the space of the heart. And next time you lift your arms, beginning to tilt your head back and open your eyes as your palms come to meet. And on the exhale, watch your hands as you bring them down to the heart space. And take a breath here, looking at your hands. And as you exhale, lightly bow your head, just to honour your own practice in this time you've got this morning. And then breathing in, lifting your head and lifting up your arms again. Lovely long spine. And as you breathe out, take a little twist to the right. Take your left hand to your right knee, your right hand behind you. And then breathing in, come back to the front, lift up your arms. And breathing out, take a little twist to the left, right hand to the left knee. So we're not in any hurry to push anything here. Just feeling your way this morning. I'm so stiff. And then breathing in, come to the front and lift your arms up. And as you breathe out, float over to the right hand side, pressing down into the right hand as you ease your left arm past the ear. Look down at the right hand and breathe in, come up. And then float over to the other side. Keep releasing through the hips. And we'll do that a couple more times. Try not to rush from side to side, but really relish every part of the movement, every breath. Allowing the day in. Lovely to see you all. Hi, Becky. Jonet. And then breathing in, come all the way up to the top again. And we'll take that little twist to the right again. Take a little look over your right shoulder, maybe wriggle into it a little bit. Find a little bit of length in the spine. But not pushing, soft, really soft in the shoulder blades, in the heart space. And then keeping your left hand where it is, turn your head to the center and lift up your right arm. And then bring it over the ear. So you're reaching to the left whilst you pull the left hand on the right knee. Lovely little stretch. You could look under your right armpit. And just feel where this gets you. Again, not clinging, not pushing. And then lifting, breathe in. And exhale, release. And lift your arms up, breathe in. And take a little twist to the left. Finding your way in the twist. And then really holding that right hand on the left knee. Breathe and lift up the left arm. And then lean over to the right. So it's a little bit of a push-pull going on with the left hand and the right knee. And you can look under the left armpit and breathe. Soften the face. And then breathe in, come up. And breathe out, release your hands. And now breathe in, lift your arms and see if you can really lift your chest as you look up. And breathe out, stay here. Feel the release down through the hips as you reach up, another breath in. Through the hands, long side waist. And then palms together, breathe out as you bring them down. Watch your palms as you bring them to your chest. And close your eyes again and just feel the body now. Notice the quality of your breath. Maybe the quality of your seat has changed as well. Okay, and then opening your eyes and just simply changing the cross of your legs. Maybe time for you to take the block away, see how you feel. And all we're going to do here is, as we release through the hips, feel a lift up of the upper body. Lift, a breath in. You can even use your hands to encourage that lift. And then breathe out, come forwards. Maybe your hands can come to the floor, maybe your forearms. And then just release the head. And we're looking for total softness here. From the soles of your feet all the way up to your pelvis. Soft belly. Whole of the back and the shoulders and the neck and the head soft. Breathe. Take a few really full breaths here. And coming to the top of a breath in. And as you exhale, open your mouth. Maybe you sink a little deeper and take 3 more like that. Really filling the back of your body, your side waist with the breath. 1 more. And then next time you breathe in, pushing into your hands to straighten your arms. Slowly bringing yourself back in and reassembling your spine. And taking your feet out in front of you. So the soles of the feet are together, and there's about a 2-hand length between your groin and the heels. You might still want to sit up on something, especially if you're slumping in the lower back. Then holding onto your feet or your ankles, take a breath in and really feel the length of the spine lifting up and out of the pelvis. Really lovely and open across the collarbones and the heart. And then breathe out, release into your yin butterfly for a couple of minutes. Softening in the back body and the hips and in the tissues of the face. Breathe. And as you stay and you breathe into the body, noticing any micro movements as your body responds to the stillness of this pose, just little movements into edges of where you can go, nothing dramatic. Breathe. Very soft, very present this morning. Really soft at the back of the heart space, the back of the ribs. And staying in this yin butterfly, and taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, turn your head slowly to look over your right shoulder. So we're just saying hello to our neck, nothing dramatic. And then breathe in, come back down. And breathe out, turn to the left. And in your own time, take a few more of these neck rotations, very subtle, very gentle. And taking one more circuit on each side. And then very slowly, bone by bone, bringing yourself up. So one vertebra stacks upon the next as you simply feel the lightness and the brightness in your upper body. And use your hands to bring your knees in. I'm wondering if Esme's with you, Jonet. And take your hands behind you. And just for a moment, allow yourself to lean back into the hands as you lift the chest. Maybe even a little squeeze in the shoulder blades. A little bit of a smile in the collarbones. Breathe. You might need to bring your feet in a little bit towards the buttocks for this. We're going to breathe in and lift into tabletop. So your feet should be your heels should be directly under your knees. And you're lifting the side waist, lifting the hips and pressing into your hands and feet to really enjoy now, after the gentle opening so far, to enjoy a little bit of stability, a little bit of strength. Can you take 5 breaths here? Don't fling your head back. Feel the strength, feel the integrity, the knitting together of your tissues. One more breath in. And then breathe out, release down. Beautiful. And we'll meet on all fours, please. If you'd like to walk your right fingertips out to the front, and all we're going to do is bring a little bit of movement into the right shoulder. The rest of the body just stays as it is. You're going to keep your eyes on your fingertips, so breathing in, lift, and sweep the arm behind you, breathing out. Just take a few of these. Might feel quite awkward. You might want to come up on the left fingertips. And then reversing the direction of those circles. Feeling into the shoulder, not pushing anything. A little bit of lubrication for the shoulder socket, movement of the whole girdle. And then place the right hand down. Feel the difference between the two sides of the body. And then take your left fingers out and begin that same circuit. If you can, follow your fingers with your eyes. It's good to use the eye muscles. Feeling in. And then when your fingers are back down, reversing the direction. You feel the rib cage as well as the shoulder girdle. One more round. Beautiful. And then just noticing both hands on the floor. Maybe feel a little bit of just identify the shoulder blades. You can roll the shoulders and feel that those triangles of bone on the back. See if you can slide them down the spine a little. If this doesn't compute, don't worry. And then spreading your fingers and curling under your toes. We'll come slowly up into a downward dog. And take your time. I'm going to give you a few breaths in this downward dog to walk it out, to feel what you need. Breathing fully. And in the downward dog, you can also move around in the shoulders. See if you can roll them a little bit up to the ears and back. See if you can do that in both directions. See what it feels like to bring your armpits a little bit forwards and then take the tops of your thighs up and back. Breathe. Beautiful. Looking in between your hands, inhaling, and walk or step your feet forwards. And coming into a really soft dangle, just a soft dangle, decompressing the spine. Just allowing yourself to hang. A little bit of pressure through the feet, knees slightly bent. And you can also roll your shoulders here, lovely way of just releasing any tension from the week. Maybe you've been sleeping really badly and wake up feeling quite stiff. Maybe not, I hope not. And then taking your hands to your waist and pressing through your feet, begin to lift your chest and then come up all the way. Inhale. And exhale here. Just taking your hands to your belly and feeling the body, your feet, the tailbone drawing down, shoulder blades coming down. And then breathing and sweeping your arms up. And breathing out, fold, come all the way down. And breathe into a flat back. So really open your chest, roll the shoulders back. And breathe out, step your left leg behind you for a little lunge. Nice and slow. You can power up that back leg a little bit, push through the heel. Sink into the right hip a little bit. And then lift your belly and chest away from the thigh and roll the shoulders back. Breathe in. Breathe out, sink a little deeper. Well done. And then looking ahead of you, bend that back knee. Step lightly forwards. Breathe into a flat back. And breathe out, your right foot comes back behind you. And exactly the same. A little bit of strength, a little bit of softness, and a little bit of attention to the shoulders, the back of the ribs. How's your breath? Soft bend in the back of the knee, and then draw yourself back to a downward dog. Breathe here. In your downward dog, can you lift both heels up and really bend the knees? And then bring your attention to your navel. And it's as if you're being pulled from your navel back as you draw yourself forward. A little bit of suction of the front body into the back body. A parabolic curve to slowly and mindfully bring you to a plank. And find the strength in your plank. Draw the front body into the back body. Take a breath in. And then breathe out, drop your knees and roll all the way down over the front of your body. And can you bring your hands by your ribs? Forehead is on the floor. We're going to take our time to really feel into some back bends today. So what I'd like you to do is really press your big toenails into the mat. Press your pubic bone into the mat. And draw your tailbone towards your heels. So we look for space in the sacrum and a little bit of a zipping up in the lower belly. Lovely. And then as you lift your head and your chest, can you lift your hands off the mat? Inhale. Hold here. And then exhale, come down. Do two more. A lot of attention, space in the lower back, activating the back muscles. Exhale, come down. One more. And this time as you exhale, stay here and feel the spread of your collarbones, the opening of your chest. With our hands lifted, we have to use our back muscles. That's what we're doing. And we can't come up high. We can't kid ourselves. Take a breath in. And then come all the way down. Curl your toes under. Inhale to all fours and come into a lovely deep and long downward dog. And it's absolutely fine to wriggle around to find your sweet spot. Keep softening the back of the ribs, melting your heart towards your knees. Whilst you maintain that length in the spine and the side body, beautiful. And then looking in between your hands again, and step or walk your feet forwards. And pressing through your feet, come all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Lovely and slow, soulful flow this morning. Hope you're feeling really in tune. Breathe and lift. And breathe out, fold forwards. And breathe and lift. And step your left foot back. So we're back in that lunge. Place your left hand down. And we're going to take the right hand forwards like we did when we were just on all fours, but now in the lunge, begin to circle that right arm. Maybe there's more room for movement now. Follow the hand with your eyes. And it's absolutely fine to move around a bit in the lower body as you find space to move. And then circle the arm in the opposite direction. Really big, expansive circles, don't be shy. Beautiful. And then as your hand comes down, place it inside the right foot. Walk your way slowly around the long end of your mat to the left into Skandasana, a little bit of a half squat to the left, and we'll just keep it simple to begin with. You might be up on your left toes, your heel might be down, but you're drawing your right toes towards you to create this stretch inside the right leg. Can you take a few more breaths and keep sinking? Beautiful. And then bring your way back to the front of the mat. And we take that moving twist again. So just take your right fingers out and begin to circle. Take 3 circles in one direction and then 3 circles in the opposite direction. Beautiful. And as your hand comes down, come back to a downward dog. Feel the body, feel the breath and the rib cage and the lung on the right side, the right hip. And then bending your knees, lift your heels up, and we suck ourselves, pull ourselves forwards again into that curvy way towards a plank. Take a breath in your plank. And then drop your knees and roll all the way down. Forehead to the mat. This time, have your fingertips more in line with your shoulders. And come to pressing the tops of the toes down, the pubic bone, tailbone dragging towards your heels. You zip up a little bit in the lower belly. And now we will keep our hands on the floor, but we'll try to really activate the back muscles. So begin to roll the shoulders back. Chin into the chest. Inhale, peel yourself up and your head comes last. And exhale, come down. Do that again. Activate the back muscles. Curl yourself. It's like a ripple to come up. And come down. And curl yourself up one more time. And as you exhale, look over your left shoulder. A little bit of a twist, good for the neck. Inhale back to the front. Exhale, look over your right shoulder. Beautiful. Inhale back to the front. And exhale, come all the way down. Well done. And then inhale to all fours. Exhale to downward dog. And breathe full breaths. All that spaciousness that you're creating. So you become ever more aware of and connected to the space around you. Looking in between your hands and walk, step, or maybe even jump your feet forwards. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. And inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Feel the body. Breathing in, lift. And breathe out, fold. Come to that flat back again, rolling the shoulders back. Inhale. Step your right foot back. Press your right hand down. And then begin that circling with the left arm. Lovely big circles. See if you can just really feel into every nook and cranny where you need it. Lovely space. And then reverse the direction of your circles. Absolutely fine to move around a bit in the lower body. And then placing your left hand inside the right. And we come around to the long end of the mat, towards the right foot and knee, bending into that right knee, drawing the left toes towards you. Absolutely fine to have your hands on the floor here as you just feel into the inside seam of your legs, the groin, and breathe. Notice if you're gripping or if you're clinging, and if you can let go a little here. It's all right if your right heel is off the floor. And then gently bring yourself back round to the front. And we'll take that nice moving twist again. So come to moving the left arm in one direction 3 times. And then moving the arm in the opposite direction. Beautiful. And then sliding your way back to a downward dog. Breathe. And then with that same lift of the heels, the bend of the knees, the drawing in of the side waist, the navel, suck yourself forwards, inhaling. Exhale, stay here. Try not to sink in between the shoulder blades or the lower back. You're pushing yourself up towards the ceiling, but keeping your bum low. I was told not to say bum the other day, your bottom. No accounting for taste. Take a breath in. And then maybe you lower your knees, or maybe you come down straight as a stick to develop strength in the upper body, hovering here, and then all the way down. And take a breath, feel the softness of your forehead. And bring your hands a little bit closer down towards your ribs again, so it's not as high as they were last time. And coming to all of that discipline, all those instructions, press the feet down, tailbone towards your heels, zip up the lower belly. And then begin to push into your hands to straighten your arms if you can. If this is too much, take your hands forwards. And it may be that you can push into your hands and feet and lift up into an upward dog. So let's start quite high. You might want to alter the hands. Drop the hips down. And then keep drawing the tailbone towards the heels. Zip the lower belly and see if you can come into more of an open chest. Pressing into your hands and your feet. It's quite tough. One more breath in. Curl your toes under and come back to a downward dog. Breathe. And float your right leg up into the air. You can lift the left heel, that's okay. And sweep your right foot forwards, in between your hands. And bring the left knee down. It's absolutely fine to move around a little bit here as we come into a little bit of a dragon. So we did a lot of these last night in the yin class. Can you bring your fingers to your hands to the front knee? And as you push on that front knee, can you feel a little bit of a conversation with the front of the left hip and thigh? You've got that nice activation of the lower belly. Roll the shoulders back. Bring your hands to your ribs. Fingers pointing as far up as they can. And this is just to try and lift up the rib cage, open the heart a bit more, and then slide your hands back. Anjaneyasana. If you're finding it difficult to stabilize in the lower body, draw your front heel and back knee in towards each other, and then from there find your back bend and breathe into the joy of it. Only take your head back if that works for you. It's quite nice to bring the palms together behind the head if that feels good. Breathe. And then breathing in, straighten up. And exhale, bring your hands down around the front foot. And just for a moment, draw that right hip and the toes back for a half monkey, Ardha Hanumanasana. Feeling into the hamstrings of the right leg. You can draw the little toe edge of the foot towards the hip. Still maintaining that space in the sacrum, space in the pelvis that we've been creating. A lot of instruction today. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. Beautiful. And then rocking forwards again. Placing your left hand down as you lift your foot into the air. And this may be enough for you. Or you may be able to take your right hand behind you to hold onto the foot. And you're trying to draw the left foot in towards the buttock as you look over your right shoulder. If there's room, come down onto the left forearm here. And take a few breaths into this very delicious, rich stretch into the left quadricep, left hip flexor. Breathe. Can you soften in the jaw? Soften within the effort that this may be requiring from you. There's no rush. One more breath in. And then gently release the foot and come back to a downward dog. Beautiful. And float the left leg up now. Float it up. You can come up onto your right heel. Lift, lift, lift. And sweep the foot forwards. And drop the knee. Beautiful. Bring your hands to the knee. And coming to that sense of engagement, lower belly. Drawing the front heel and the back knee towards each other. Are you smiling? Can you feel the whole body, the aliveness in your skin? Bring your hands to your ribs. And there's that kind of lift up and back. So you're really opening into the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. And from there, release your arms back. Find stability in the lower body, and from there, flow and blossom in the upper body. So radiant. Only bring your hands together behind the head if that feels right for you. And breathe. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, both, take your right hand down, and then bend up the knee. And this might be enough for you, or sweeping the left hand around, hold on to the right foot. Take your time to get there. Sometimes you need to slide the back knee back a little bit to find that space. And then draw the foot in towards the right buttock. And maybe this is enough. Or maybe you come down onto your right forearm. And this feels so much stiffer on this side for me. I don't know about you. Breathe. And smile. One more breath in, and then breathe out. Find your way back to a downward dog. And you can sigh, you can let it go, you can really feel the whole body now. And let's take a little vinyasa, pouring and pulling yourself forwards to your plank inhale. So you have all those options of ways to come down. You choose how you want to come down. And this time, just choose a little back bend that feels right for you. And exhale, come down. And lifting yourself to all fours and a downward dog. Lovely fluidity, mobility and space in the spine as well. And looking forwards, step, walk or jump your feet in between your hands. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. And take a couple of breaths. You might want to bend your knees. You might want to straighten the legs. Feel what you need. You might want to move the upper body around a little bit. You might want to come to complete stillness, holding your elbows. Breathe. And then just taking your fingers to the floor and looking ahead of you. As you zigzag your feet out, your heels will probably be about hip distance apart and your toes a little bit further apart. And we're going to come down into Malasana. I'm going to come down into a squat, and it's absolutely legitimate to place your heels on a block if you're just not able to sink into the floor. And take a little bit of time here in this Malasana to find your way. So eventually you might find that you bring your feet closer together. You might press your upper arms against the inside of your knees, hands together. And then take a few breaths and you can really feel a dropping down through the base of the body and a brightness in the chest and face. Breathe. I like to press into the heels of my hands and the heels of my feet. Breathe and feel the response of the body. One more breath in. And then breathe out. Take your hands forwards. And we're going to come from here onto our backs. Knees bent. Soles of the feet on the floor. And take a moment to settle and really feel the length of the spine and feel your shoulder blades and shoulders against the mat, back of the pelvis as well. And breathe here, hands on your belly. Notice the quality of the breath. And then lifting your arms over your head, breathe in, finding length. And as you breathe out, can you take hold of your feet, lift your head and really draw yourself into a very tight little package. And we're going to move, breathe in and lengthen. Find the full length and then breathe out. Strong abdomen you need to draw yourself into your tight little package. Can you take 3 more? Really enjoying, really relishing the full opening and then that condensing into your tight little package. Great for the spine. Great for your abdominal core. Last one, breathe in. And breathe out. And then releasing your feet, your head down. And taking a moment to feel the body. And taking your fingers behind your knees. And maybe you can roll from head to tail. Nice massage up and down the spine. If this doesn't work for you, simply roll around on your lower back, circling the knees. But at some point, we're all going to meet in a boat. Arms outstretched, legs outstretched. And breathe. Strong core. Stay with the breath. Arms come to parallel. Draw your knees in. Breathe. Well done. Can you take 3 more breaths here? Keep drawing the abdomen in. I'm quite shaky. Doing a lot of practice this week, a lot of teaching. Can really feel it. 1 more breath in. And then breathe out, cross your feet and roll over to bring yourself back to a downward dog. You feel the strength in your abdomen just from one quite long Navasana, boat pose. Wonderful. Strong arms now. Step your left foot a little bit into the right. And breathing and lift up the right leg. And core plank, knee to nose, shoulders over the wrists. Pause here. Breathe in and reach back again. Breathe out, knee to right arm as high up as you can go. Really feel the side waist. Breathe in, lift. And then breathe out, cross the knee over the body, high up the left arm. Breathe in, lift. And now step your right foot in between your hands. And press that left hand down. So we're back in a familiar moving twist. Moving that right arm. Really feel into that right shoulder, the ribs, and breathe. And then reverse the direction of the circles. And take your right hand inside the foot. And we bring our way around again to Skandasana to the left. And I'm going to leave you with the choice. You could keep your fingers to the floor, or maybe you can take your arms out. Maybe you can wrap the right arm over the left for Garudasana arms and take a few breaths. Keep sinking as you find to move around in the upper body a little bit. 1 more breath in, and then make your way back to the front of the mat, to your lunge. Take a moment here. Beautiful. And then step back to downward dog. Breathe. Really strong arms again. And then lift up your right leg as far as it'll go. You can lift the left heel. But begin to peel open the right hip as you bend the knee. And you try to bring your right heel to the left buttock. Beware of slumping in that left shoulder, and then really peel open the right side of the body. Look under the armpit. Make sure your left foot is straight and push the top of that thigh back. Wonderful. And then looking in between your hands, draw that right knee forwards for pigeon. If pigeon is just not going to work for you because of your knee, please come onto your back, bend your knees, Take your right ankle over the left knee and draw your legs in towards you. Otherwise, let's take a little bit of time to find juice in our pigeon. Look over the left shoulder. Make sure the leg's straight. You might want to draw it back a bit. You might want to flex this right foot. Press the little toe edge into the mat, and this will activate and protect the tissues around the knee. Beautiful. And those same principles that we were doing on the supine backbends, the backbends on the belly, apply. So press into the back toes, draw the tailbone back, little zip up of the lower belly, and from there puff up your chest. Breathe. Keep sinking into the hips. Take a breath in and maybe roll the shoulders back, lift the chin. And then leading with the chest, ripple your way down. Forehead touches the mat. Keep your chin in and ripple yourself up. Really slow, head comes last. And come down. One more time. And this time, come down for a little sleep. You can take your head onto your hands. And notice where this pose is making itself felt in the body. Notice the quality of your breath. Maybe melt a little. And you're welcome to stay in a sleeping pigeon, or you might like to come up, bring your right hand a bit more into the center, straight arm, and see if you can take your left foot with your hand. So there are all kinds of ways into this. There's a pose called mermaid pose, which I would so love to be able to do, and I don't know if any of you can. But basically, you're easing the left foot into the buttock. Maybe you can turn your hand around over the top of the foot, lift the elbow and press down, and then look forwards. You might even bring your hand onto the knee, lift a bit. This may be where you're at. It's kind of where I'm at with this pose. But maybe you can slide your foot into the crook of the elbow. So the full pose would have your right arm lifted, holding onto the left hand. You can see I'm nowhere near. See where you're at and take a few breaths. And it's quite a lesson not to push into something that you really want. One more breath in. And then breathe out, release. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever be able to do that full pose. So beautiful, mermaid pose. But just pigeon is doing the trick. It's what your body probably needs more than mermaid. And then if you're on your back, rolling over, and we'll all meet back in a downward dog. And have a little sigh. And then stepping your right foot a little bit more in towards the left. Lifting up that left leg. Peeling it open. Try not to dampen the right shoulder. Really open into the left side of the body, that left hip, as you push the top of your right thigh up and back. Make sure the foot's straight. Breathe. Breathe it open. And then, oh no, I actually did that wrong. Step the foot down. I'm so sorry. Just a preliminary little stretch. Let's lift up the left leg and come to core plank, knee to nose. And then lift up again. Knee to high up the left arm. Feel that side waist. Lift it up again. Cross it over the body to the right arm. Lift it up again. And then step forwards. And if you brought your knees down, that's absolutely fine. We're back in that open twist again. Plant your right hand down and begin to explore that movement in the right shoulder, left shoulder. Breathe. And take the arm in the opposite direction. Really enlivening and breathing fully. We're doing everything to help us breathe. And then planting the left hand inside the left foot. And bringing your way around into Skandasana in the right. And you have a choice of staying with your hands to the floor or lifting your arms and wrapping the left arm over the right this time. And breathe and feel the body. Just settle into where you're at right now. Steady breath. One more breath in. Release your arms as you breathe out. And slowly, slinkily bring yourself back to the front of the mat into that lunge. And now we do open the left hip for our pigeon. So we'll just do it again, but quite briefly. Lift the left leg, bend the knee, open the hip. You've already done it. And then look forwards. Bring the left knee forwards for your pigeon. If you're on your back, you take your left ankle over the right knee. Check over that right shoulder. Maybe flex the toes of the left foot. Don't want any pain in the knee at all. Come to your breath. Draw the tailbone down, zip up the lower belly. Feel the pose. Soften the heart. And then breathe in, maybe open your throat a little and breathe out, pour yourself down. And breathe in, ripple yourself up. And breathe out, pour yourself down. And breathe in, ripple yourself up. And breathe out, pour yourself down. And come down to sleep for a few breaths to really drop into the hips. Notice the breath. Notice the softness in the back of your chest. And it's absolutely fine to stay where you are. I wouldn't blame you one little bit. You might like to come up for that. Moving in towards mermaid. So just bring your left hand under your face to begin with and bend up the right knee. Take your right hand to the foot. And maybe you're just pulling a piece of clothing or pulling the foot. Maybe you can take your hand and reach the fingers in the direction of the toes and bring the elbow up. A little bit more pressure and then look forwards. Absolutely fine to be here. Or maybe you can slide the toes into the crook of the elbow. Maybe you can bring your left hand onto the leg. Maybe you come into the full pose, lifting the left hand and reaching the right. Another lifetime for me. Breathe. One more breath in. And then release gently. Well done. Find your downward dog. And you have a choice now. You could take a vinyasa. You could drop your knees and rest in child, or you might like to breathe it out in your downward dog. I'll take a little vinyasa if you want to follow me. Coming forwards to plank. Choosing your way down to the mat. Finding just a little cheeky back bend. And from there, finding your downward dog again. 3 full breaths. One more full inhalation. And then we'll all meet, kneeling and sitting back on our heels. And absolutely fine, this is where the cushion comes in. Those of you who joined late may not have seen that we can use a cushion for this part of the practice, but it's also not necessary. Just want you to come to maybe closing your eyes, maybe take your hands to your heart. Can you feel your tailbone dropping? Your shoulders dropping? And your face soft? How's your breath now? How can you feel into the quality of the muscle of your brain inside your cranium? As if it was a muscle, soft, lucid, alert, and relaxed all at once. Breathe. And if you'd like to open your eyes and drop your hands, and can you reach your fingertips behind you here? There's a lot of back bends in this class and it's all of the same principles. Can you zip up your lower belly a little? As you puff your chest forwards and squeeze in between the shoulder blades, maybe keep your chin in, or maybe your head comes back. Take a little bit of weight into the hands. And we just ease our way into a uniform curve of the spine in this little back bend. Feel the whole chest bright. Breathe. One more breath in. Strong abdomen to bring you back. Straight spine. And then come up high. So this is where we're going to come into Ustrasana, Camel Pose. And this is where some people just find it, so Camel Pose is where you take your hands right back and you come into full back bend. Some people find this so challenging, both psychologically and physically. It just can be really nice to take a cushion, to take your hands to, maybe curl under the toes. So it's just much less of a distance to come back. And actually this cushion's a bit thin. You could have a much thicker one or a bolster. So let's start toes curled, hands on the lower back, fingers pointing up if that's right. And all those instructions I gave you about back bends apply, as I keep saying. This is also to protect the lower back. Draw the tailbone down, zip up the lower belly. Draw your inner thighs in. And then breathe that curve up the spine and maybe squeeze in between the shoulder blades. Maybe you take your hands to the cushion. And breathe space into where the pose is happening for you right now. Find to wriggle around. Only take your head back if that works and breathe. Breathe into the side ribs, front. One more breath in. Hands to your waist, strong core as you slowly come up, head comes last. Release the toes. And sit down for a moment, feel the body. We'll just do one more. You could do it with the cushion or without. Coming up, you can either curl your toes under or not, depending on how you feel in this pose. Inner thighs are strong. Inhale and come up the front of the spine and maybe take one hand back to a heel or the cushion and then the other. Don't push yourself into something that just doesn't feel right for you. And then when you've got to where you want to be, wriggle around and see where you find there's room to expand. And breathe. See if you can soften in your gluteal muscles, your buttocks a little, so that the strength is in your inner thighs and your lower belly. One more breath in. Strong abdomen to bring you up. Head comes last. And then sit back and take a moment, quite a long moment to feel. Eyes closed maybe. You come to a sense of the spaciousness in your body, but also the space around you. And then interlacing your hands over your chest and flipping your hands around. Inhale, push them out in front of you. Exhale over your head. I just want to take a few breaths to explore length here. You keep pushing up. Try to soften your front ribs in so you're not pushing yourself forwards here. Tailbone tucked under a little, and breathe and reach. And smile. One more breath in, and then breathe out, come down. And interlace your hands behind your back and bring them to your right waist. If you can, you push the heels of your hands together, drawing the elbows towards each other. Take a breath in and then tilt your right ear towards the shoulder and drop the left shoulder away. And maybe take your eyes up to the far left. And you can wriggle around a bit to find the sweet spot for your neck. Breathe. One more breath in. And then release, breathe out, and we'll just simply bring that to the other side. Breathing in. Take your left shoulder and ear towards each other. Maybe a little squeeze of the shoulder blades, and take your eyes up to the far right. And breathe. Feel into the right side of the neck. One more breath in. And then slowly, slowly release. And then just one more time, we'll reach our arms up, push through the hands. Take a few breaths, lengthening. Feel the side ribs. One more full breath in. And then please meet me on your back. For a very brief pigeon on the back, maybe you've done this already with the right ankle over the left knee, and just draw your legs in, right hand through the gap. And take a few breaths. We're just unwinding now. Soften the back of the shoulders against the mat. Breathe into that right hip. Just very brief. Let's change sides. Breathe. One more breath in. And then dropping your feet. And keeping your upper arms close in towards the body, pressing down, and your fingertips up towards the ceiling. There's a right angle in your elbows. And we'll come into one final back bend, very simple little bridge. We've done a lot of back bends, so we'll keep this very simple now. Take a breath in, and on the breath out, push into your feet and peel yourself off the mat. And we're only going to take one. Take your chin back a little and keep breathing space into the whole of the front of the body. Try not to clench your buttocks, work the legs. Lift the hips and the sideways. Can you take 3 more breaths? Strong but also simple. One more breath. And then slide your shoulder blades apart on the floor and come down bone by bone. Allow your spine and your sacrum to find the mat. You can bring your knees together, the soles of your feet out. Take a moment here, feeling the body. And gently rolling over to one side and bringing yourself up. With your feet out in front, your knees out in front, lovely long straight back. You've created all this space. Very simple twist. Wrap your left elbow around the knees. To keep your chest open, your spine straight, and then lift up the right arm. Inhale. Take the hand behind you, look over to the right, and take a few breaths here. We're not going to go any deeper than this. Breathe. One more breath in. Breathe out, look back to the center. Take your right elbow around the knees, draw in, open chest. Lift up the left arm, inhale. And come round to the left. So all that length in the spine, all that opening in the chest. Twist to freedom. Breathe. One more breath in. And then look back to the front. Slide your feet away. We'll take a very simple Paschimottanasana forward fold. Maybe sit up on something. Maybe bend your knees, or maybe your legs are straight with your toes pulled in towards you. Find your sitting bones. We've done a lot of back bending, so we need to really soothe the system now with an introverted Paschimottanasana forward fold. Breathe in, lift. Find that length that you were finding. Maybe take the palms of your hands up, and then as if you're coming over a mountain, come about halfway, breathe out. And then take another breath in and really reach. And then come over your mountain. Maybe you touch your feet, maybe you don't. Doesn't matter. And every breath in, you lengthen the spine. And every breath out, you draw your navel in a little bit and you come a little bit deeper, but try to look past your toes. We're not bringing the chin right in here. And push the insteps of your feet forwards. See what that feels like. And begin to slow the breath down, particularly the exhalations can become much slower. Breathe. One more full breath in and a long breath out. Strong abdomen as you gently come up. Take a breath in and then take another little gentle twist to the right. Left hand over the right knee, the right hand behind you. You can even lean back a little bit if you like now to release and the ease of movement here. And then come back to the front. Take that little twist to the other side, nothing extreme. And then come back to the front. And come onto your back for just a brief happy baby, if that's right for you. Soles of your feet to the ceiling. Maybe you can hold on to your feet. This is another form of forward fold. So we're easing the system out after so much back bending, which can be very uplifting, but we don't want to end the class feeling jittery. So take some deep breaths to draw your knees down towards the armpits, long spine. If your chin is jutting up, place something under the back of your head and breathe. Release the roof of your mouth. Release the tongue. Soft eyes, soft brain, soft skin. And as we come to the end of the physical practice, do take anything that you want to take to feel complete. So if you have a shoulder stand, for example, or a headstand, you might want to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to invite you into Shavasana. I'm going to put my slippers on. I want you to make sure that you're warm enough. We didn't use our brick in the end. Maybe if you have a bolster or a rolled up blanket, you could take that underneath your knees so you can really, really soften and settle. Take your time, we've got time. And allow a little bit of movement to really feel the shoulders, the shoulder blades, palms open and away from the body, feet rocking out and maybe a little bit far apart. Unless, of course, your knees are over a bolster. If you chose an intention, a sankalpa for your practice this morning, then you could recall that if you haven't already. And allow yourself to feel everything right now. Your body will breathe itself anyway. So just allow the breath to continue naturally as you relish and bathe in sensation. Feeling the floor beneath you, space above and around you. Stay very, very close to yourself so you don't miss anything. You're welcome to stay resting as long as you like, of course. If you want to begin to take a few slightly deeper breaths, feeling the rise and fall of your abdomen with the breath. And choosing any little movements that you like to bring you out of the practice. Slowly bringing a little bit more life in. Nothing abrupt, maybe a little hug, a little stretch, a little roll around. Till you're ready to meet me, eyes closed in a seated position. And when we practice a lot of back bends like we did, well, there are many benefits, but one of the benefits is that it really facilitates a fuller, more spacious breath. So I hope that you enjoy that sense of space in the breath. And that obviously means more oxygen, more life, a brightness to your day, I hope. Taking a full breath in towards your chest, and as you breathe out, bowing your head, chin to your chest. As you breathe in, lift your head gently and open your eyes. Thank you very, very much for joining me.